Good morning, lovely. I got a powerful channeled message. The next phase of your ascension has begun. Remember that everything you've been through will have to pass through you once more on the way out. This time has been identified as a period of great transformation. Many things that have been underway for some time are going to be overturned for a new era of peace, a new vision for humanity. Make space in your life for this transformation and know that anything that is leaving your life right now is leaving for your own good. Trust the process and breathe. So this is actually something that I channeled the same day that I did my Rebel Soldier channeled message, which was just a couple days ago. So if you haven't watched that and this is resonating, you might want to go check it out, because it is the most amazing channeled message I've ever shared. And essentially, some of you guys might be having dreams about old patterns, you might be dreaming about, like, having nightmares, basically. And even if you wouldn't, like for instance, I dreamt last night, they weren't nightmares, but things from my past were surfacing. And even things that aren't from my past, but they're kind of like fears of mine, were surfacing. And I woke up feeling kind of drained and exhausted. At 111, thank you, Spirit. New beginnings, you guys. The reason why all this stuff is coming to the surface is so that we can release it and let it go. Start with something fresh, okay? And part of the process of healing trauma is when you go into trauma, you kind of dive through the tough stuff, then you kind of go down here and just get stuck in it. A lot of us spend our whole lives down here running from it. But when we actively healing trauma, we have to come right back out through it. And I'll share a personal, something personal from my life. I taught a trauma workshop about a couple months ago now. And it was really powerful, and I channeled the whole thing, and I learned about trauma while I was healing my own, and so I've been prepared to do this kind of work. But when I did that workshop, the first time, when I took it myself, I was healing my own trauma. I wasn't learning about it to heal others. I was actually doing it for my own self. And so when I taught the trauma workshop, I kind of went back into a lot of those memories. And it's the first time that that's happened. And some of you guys might remember a really downtrodden, message I shared a couple days later at the end of May, where I was experiencing some I don't want to say suicidal thoughts, because I think that kind of degrades the whole experience. But essentially getting to a place where I felt the same feelings I had when I first took that workshop 4 years ago. I felt the sense of like hopelessness and fear and terror. And it wasn't because this moment is horrible and terrible and, I'm scared. There's a cat outside looking at me. Hey, buddy, don't let my cat see you. Just kidding. It's because I had to go through, I went all the way down into it, and then I've been living down there. I healed a lot of it. I've been healing it for years, but in order to teach that class, I had to dive back into it and then face it on its way out. And it was really impactful and kind of scary, and it made me feel like I was going backward, but I wasn't going backward, and neither are you. And I mean, of course, that's not going to be for everyone. Some of you are willingly going backward. You're going back to old habits, old people, old things that you know don't serve you. But for those that aren't, that you're doing the work, you're showing up every day, confirmation verb, and these things are surfacing, it's because they need to be released from your body, okay? It's not because you're going backward. Trauma is a very tricky thing, okay? It's sticky. It just kind of wants to hang on to you. Just like the ego. The ego wants to hang on to it, and it wants to hang on to you. Anyway, this might be a little bit, complex for people that don't know anything about any of these subjects. But regardless, just know that if you're experiencing some darkness right now, it's almost very likely that it's because you're passing back through it on your way out to the other side. So take a couple deep breaths. If you want, you can shake a little bit of it loose. Just with consciousness, just intention, set your intention to shake anything loose that doesn't serve you, and take a few deep breaths, okay? Let it go. You are safe right now. You are safe to experience these feelings. You are safe to let them go. And you are safe to be yourself right now. You are safe to be authentic. It's safe to share your gifts. And anything that is telling you otherwise, release it right now. Woo! Shake it up. All right. So, I'm actually being guided to pull a few cards. I don't usually do both in one, but what the hell. I'm also just going to be sharing more of my authentic self I shared some of my accents the other day. I've been sharing more music. I'm an artist. I'm going to start sharing more of my art, my dance. So if my channel starts taking a turn, that's because I'm being guided to share more of me with you. So those of you that want to stick around and, you know, enjoy that, great. For those of you that it's just not what you're into, I also have a tarot-only channel that I started a few months ago, but I've been more actively posting on, called Sacred Flame Tarot, and it's on YouTube and TikTok. So Sacred Flame Tarot, if you're only interested in the messages and you don't really want to see me dance or, you know, do meditations and channeled messages and all that. All right, we got some interesting cards going on here. Okay, so we got the first cards out were the Chariot and the Two of Cups. Balance, balance, divine union, and divine intervention. So you might be, dude, look at that. The black and white horses, balance. The kind of like brown and white hand, balance. You're about to step into an era of balance. Also, to me, this is representing the 4, like 11-11, because it's 2 and 2. So kind of like the 4 Wands energy, which is marriage, walking through a portal. Hold on, let me change this song. And basically walking into your new life. All right, I'm not going to do a whole reading because I just kind of remembered that this is actually a channel message. But you got the Ace of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords in reverse, the 6 of Cups, and the Queen of Swords in reverse. Yeah, you guys are coming out of some conflict and chaos, all right? But a new seed has been planted, or you planted it consciously. You're ending an old cycle, an old painful cycle. Things are being brought into balance. Again, balance, especially with your childhood self. Some of you guys might be having visions of your childhood self, or just feeling more in tune with them. Like, for instance, a huge part of the reason why my wardrobe changed is because I felt called to change it, and I outgrew like most of my clothes. I didn't outgrow them, I lost a bunch of weight, and they outgrew me. But also because when I was a young person, when I was really, really young, even though we were poor and like just life was really hard, I found ways to make things colorful and interesting by dressing up in costumes that we got at Goodwill or that we'd find in free bins, or like putting a tablecloth as a dress. I was always like wearing some crazy outfit. I was very expressive. And during the pandemic, I kind of like just got comfortable. I just started wearing sweats all the time, and you know, a lot of people know the story. So you're being encouraged to kind of go back to some childhood things that you loved as a child, things that made you happy, ways of expressing yourself, especially because some of you guys you're not expressing yourself. The Queen of Swords in reverse. You're being asked to cut out anything that doesn't serve you. Listen to your higher self with this bird here, and really express yourself. You know, have boundaries around the things that aren't serving you. This kind of chaos and conflict, and shine your beautiful radiant light, because that's what you came here to do. A lot of you guys were taught that it wasn't safe, but it is safe. Okay, it's safe to come out now. So have some fun, be creative, be spontaneous, you know, express yourself in a new way, and just see what happens. You know, shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up. Do things differently. Just try something else, all right? Don't put yourself in a box and think that you can't break out of it, because you can. At any time, you can break out. This is your time to do whatever you feel. Here's the torch. Take it and carry it on. All right, go share your beautiful radiant light. And just so you guys know, this is my full-time job. I am actually like in surrender. I've been resting. Spirit has been not sending any new clients to me for like a month, which has been great because I've been able to rest and do all this work, but it's not great for my bank account. Let's just put it that way. So I do rely on you guys to, this is a two-way street, all right? Any business is a two-way street. The person that owns the business needs you just as much as you need them. So just so you know, if you want to contribute, you can donate or you can work with me. I'm not going to be doing private readings and mentorship and all this forever. Spirit's been guiding me away from it. I think that's why I've taken this whole month off to just rest. Aside from my, you know, I have just a client or two that I'm doing mentorship with right now, but you'd be really helping me out. I got to pay rent, y'all. So there's nothing wrong with asking for help, by the way. For those of you that have been taught that there is, this is really not, it hasn't been easy for me. It's getting easier because Spirit has been humbling the shit out of me for years now. And that's part of the process. For those of you that haven't gone through it yet, trust me, you will be humbled as fuck. But it's part of the process because we have to give our hearts to God. All right, whatever you believe in, your higher self, this earth, the universe, angels, your ancestors, okay? They're all a part of it, in my opinion. But whatever you believe in, hold it tight, honor it, serve your higher self. And yeah, if you want to donate or work with me, my website is sacredmuseproject.com. I'll also put some links for some donations in the description box. I don't always do that. If you ever see them, it's usually because money's tight, okay? Because I really don't like to advertise that unless I feel like I have to. All right? I love you. Keep going, all right? Mwah.